They can try to spin it all they want in the mainstream media, but there is now no denying that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is a box office disaster for Marvel, projected to lose money, projected to not even make as much as the first two Ant-Man movies. And now Disney's sitting there with the MCU in full-blown panic mode. When you look at Phase 4, the disappointments and the failures, not just at the box office, but also streaming, where they've lost $2.5 billion just in the last 6 months on Disney Plus. And we're seeing it play out through all these announcements. We now see that all these Phase 5 shows are suddenly getting delayed. They're suddenly getting pushed back. They're trying to desperately fix these shows because they know that they're bad. And the same thing goes for Captain Marvel 2, or should I say the Marvels. Because what was originally supposed to be Captain Marvel 2 got changed into the Marvels. They're like, oh, it's clear Brie Larson can't do a standalone movie. That didn't work well last time. We really need to retool this. We really need to protect her. Well, it looks like that didn't go very well either. So when the reports came out that this movie was once again delayed for the 4th or 5th time, this time all the way back to November, people started saying why. The reason got revealed because the test screenings they were doing were awful. Despite the reshoots that they had already done, now they're in a desperate need to do more reshoots and to try to fix this nightmare of a project. The Marvel's reshoots dump goofy footage following Ant-Man failure. Problems surround Kevin Feige's approach to both Phase 4 and Phase 5, according to reports. We might actually have Kevin Feige, Peyton Reed, and Jeff Loveness to thank in the long run, as it's claimed the Marvels is undergoing reshoots to dump the goofy footage in the movie and fix the third act. Well, you might as well reshoot the entire movie, maybe come up with a completely new strategy. Kevin Feige's Phase 4 and the start of Phase 5 have mostly featured awful writing paired with extreme goofiness that's caused MCU fans to turn on their once beloved MCU, where it was once thought Feige and company could do no wrong. However, following the string of failures theatrically and on Disney Plus, the MCU is not what it's used to be. Things are so bad for Ant-Man and the Wasp that it's now underperforming the first two Ant-Man movies at the box office, including the one from 2015. That's embarrassing. This is, once again, I've said it multiple times, this is a movie that they told us was the most important thing for Phase 5. It's the most important MCU movie we've seen since Endgame. And it's a failure. It introduces Kang, the next big villain. And it's a failure. It's a financial flop. It's going to lose money. How embarrassing for Disney. Regarding the Marvels, the release date was recently pushed back for a second time. And it's not the second time. It's not the second. It is, I think, the 4th time that it's changed, if I remember correctly. Because it wasn't even originally supposed to release in 2023. Then it got pushed back. Then it got pushed back. And now, once again, it's getting pushed back this time to November. With trades reporting the reason for the delay is to give the film more time for post-production. But various sources chimed in and said the real reason is because the Marvels tested so poorly with test screenings and audiences. We can also add, similar to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the Marvels has writers that are basically a bunch of nobodies. That's the MCU motto now. Like, they have everything kind of written before. They bring in these diversity hires to direct or do something, and they really don't get any control. They control everything from, like, the hub. They don't get any creative decision-making, nothing like that. We've heard that from people associated with the Miss Marvel TV show, that's how it was. Despite the fact that that was the highest-rated MCU show, nobody watched it because it has no audience. Like, it's not made for anyone unless you're a part of this very, very specific demographic. And now we know how bad the Quantumania script is, so that doesn't necessarily bode well for the Marvels. Now a new rumor offers further insights surrounding the Marvels, where it's claimed the reshoots involve fixing the third act and removing goofy scenes. Here's the quote. Reshoots. I've heard the third act is being reworked. There were also tonal issues with the film. They may trim some of the goofier stuff down. I'm also not sure about the third act incursion happening anymore. And that's referencing a leak from last summer that is supposed to be a verified plot leak from Reddit. We're not going to get into that necessarily, but the goofy tone is what we're talking about. Yeah, I can imagine. The entire Miss Marvel show's goofy. That's a goofy fucking character, both in the comic books and in the TV series that they brought out. You're the ones that decided to make her so important. You're the ones that decided to put her in there. Of course it's going to be goofy. What are you going to do? Cut her out of the movie entirely? She's one of the lead characters. You've been pushing this character because of her diversity. And now what? You gotta tone her down. You gotta cut her out because it's just too goofy and that doesn't work with audiences. Wow, crazy. I wonder if anybody could have told you that for the past several years, that audiences don't want these characters that have failed time and time again. They don't want these characters who created solely for diversity. They don't want them at the push towards the front of the MCU simply for the purpose of identity politics. We told Kevin Feige over and over again, these woke activists like Victoria Alonso, but nope, doesn't matter. They still continue to do it, and now they're trying desperately to save this movie from what they themselves have created. Phase 5 of the MCU is getting off to an even worse start than what Phase 4 ended with, and that's saying something. More problems for Kevin Feige and for Disney and for Marvel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.